In session 3, we will be discussing about Python basic programming concepts. This video is just show me based learning and question and answer based method. In this slide, let us discuss about the data type of Python programming language. In just show me method of learning, let us discuss the programming concept of data types. Small x equal to 10, whether this data, numerical data, is acceptable or not, how Python will interpret. To execute this, just type the variable x or then control enter, or you can run this menu. So you will able to get the output 10. Now let us see x equal to 10.67. How the Python will take the value x, because we are not defined the type of the value. So let us see how Python will interpret this. So Python will automatically interpret x equal to float value and display the outputs. Now let us see x equal to a character. Now let us see. So x equal to a, that is the character. But in Python, as we discussed, there is no character data type. It is considered this is a string value. Suppose you say hello, how are you? It's a sentence string. Now let us see what happened. So the output is there. So string value. Similarly, now let us define with the value boolean. For boolean, we have to give first letter capital, the next true value or 1, you have to give true. So that means x is equal to true value, that is 1. So x is true. So by mistake, if you give small letter here, it is not a boolean variable, it is error. So you will get error. So you have to keep in mind. So from this slide, what we learned is there is no need to define the value of that data type. Whatever the value you assign to this variable, Python will automatically convert this value into the data type and it will interpret accordingly. So that's why in that slide we discussed about Python programming language is a weakly typed programming language and it is dynamic data type based. In this slide, let us discuss about the Python variable declaration, just to show me method of learning. Let us write simple program. So first, small x equal to 10. The small letter x is acceptable in Python programming language or not. For that, you have to write like this and you have to write x. Then you have to execute by using keyboard shortcut control enter, or you can run and say that output is coming, the x is acceptable variable. Next, if I write capital X, whether it is allowed or not. Yes, capital X is also allowed. Sometimes you can give that variable, or you simply give print of that variable. Both the way we can execute. So next, let us try small letter x1. Small letter x1 is acceptable variable. It is valid or not? Yes, small x1 is valid. Now first character is number, then alphabets, whether it is allowed or not. It is not allowed. 1x is not a valid variable. Now let us see another with 1 x dash 1. X dash 1 is valid variable or not? It is invalid, because as we discussed, except underscore, no other special character is allowed here in variable declaration. So instead of dash we can give hyphen. You can give hyphen 1. It is valid. So it is a valid variable. Next, reserved word. For example, you give for 10. For is a reserved Python keyword. So that is not allowed. It is error. You can also check with another reserved words like if. So these are reserved words in Python programming language. So there are many. So you have to keep in mind, these reserved words are not allowed for declaring the variables. In this slide, let us discuss about the various operators in Python programming language. In just to show me method of learning, let us write simple programs. Let us say x equal to 10, y equal to 20. Now the various arithmetic operators, let us see the output. X plus y, output is coming. X minus y, the output is coming. X multiplication y, the output is coming. Similarly, you can also try various operators like division. Now let us see the special operators like double slash, output is coming. Another special characters like modulus, modulus operator, you can see the outputs coming. Now let us see the relational operators. For that I am introducing one more variable, z equal to some 30. Now if x greater than y, then we can say print x is bigger, else you no need to worry about the selection statement. Now we will be discussing later about this selection statement. For time being, now just you have to concentrate on operators. Y is bigger. So for these relational operators we need only two variables. Later when you come to logical operators we will use this z value. So now let us see that, because x is greater than y, x is not greater than y, so that's why its y is bigger. So now if I change x value to 40, then x is bigger. So similarly you can try with the various other operator less than. In this case x less than y, no, so y is bigger. So x less than or equal to y, less than or equal to y, then the x is bigger. Is it? Yes, it is true. Now you see x is bigger. If x equal to y, then you say both are equal. Both are equal. So else statement not required. So both are equal. So like that we can also try if x not equal to y, then both are not equal. Okay, let us now discuss about the logical operators. The logical operator, for example, if x greater than y or x greater than z, in this case you write, in this case x is 10 and y is 20. X is greater than y? No. X is greater than z? No. If either of this, then x is bigger. Else print x is not bigger than y and z. So here you have to concentrate this logical operator or. Either this will be true or this will be true, then this will be executed, otherwise this will be executed. In this case x is not bigger, so that's why the second else statement will be executed. Now let us take AND operator, x greater than y and x greater than z. In this case I make just slight changes, I make it 40. In this case x is bigger than y and z. So let us see now. So x is bigger than y and z. Similarly, you can use NOT operators. So this is a small, just to show me base learning by showing the code. In this slide, let us discuss about the local and global variable concepts. In just to show me method of learning, let me write a simple program to make you understand about the scope of the variable. So the topic here is scope of the variable. So let me assign one value for y, that is 20. In this slide also you no need to worry about the functions concept. In the later stage we will be discussing more detail. For the time being our focus is only to understand the scope of the variable. So let me define one function name sample and I will like to pass the one simple variable, and this function will print only that value, that is print x. After this function over, then I want to print some value of that variable. Suppose I am saying print x. So what will happen in this case we have to see. Before that I want to call that function by passing one value. Then I want to print the variable y. So in this case what will happen you have to see. See, this x value is only accessible to these functions. Once you come out of these functions, this x value no more valid. So that means when you say print x here, this 10 will not be printed. It will print some junk value, but it will print some value but it's not the correct value. But when you say print y, it will print the correct value, that is 20. Why? Because y is accessible to the complete whole program, but this x is only valid inside these functions. So this is the local variable x. When you define x here also, it will not access this variable. But y equal to 20, from anywhere you can print wherever you want, that y will be printed. So let us see the outputs. See the 10, print x, 10 will be printed. But here x 40, that x 40 is not a correct value, junk value. So next print y is outside the function, again it is printing correct value. So y is a like global variable, but x is not a global, it is a local only to this function or block of inside the block. So in this slide, let us discuss about the standard input and output statement, one each. So with a simple example, let us write this program. Suppose I am writing input value equal to, so that is first let us see the input statement, then let us see the output statement. First input value, the statement is here inputs, enter value. So you have to keep in note in this statement, whenever you are writing any value, it will be considered as a string. Suppose you want any integer value, then you have to typecast, convert that string into integer. So we have to use this typecasting method. Whichever type you want, you have to convert accordingly. So in this case, when I am writing 4, that will be stored in input value. So then you can just you can print or simply type that variable and we will see the outputs. And what will happen? Let us see. Input 3. I am just entering 3. Then the value 3 is printed here. So this is a simple input statement. Now let us see output statement. So the output statement is very simple, like that is our print statement. Print that value, that is whichever value you are accepting here, and that value will be printed through this variable. So same method, but I am using the output statement. This is print is for output, standard output statement, and input is the standard input statement. So let us see now. So I am writing 89 and it is printed input value 89. So this is simple input output statement. So in this slide, let us discuss about the common selection statement in more detail, with just show me practical way of learning. So let me assign some value to two different variable x and y. Now if x is greater than y, for if else statement, first after if you have to give colon, print x is bigger. Simple if statement. Now let us see the output. So x is bigger because x value is bigger than y. The another selection statement with else is, after else you have to give colon, print y is bigger. So now let us see what happened to this program. X greater than y, x is bigger, else print y is bigger. So y value you have to make it some bigger value. Now see the y is bigger. So now I am introducing another variable z equal to some 40 or some value 25, something like that. So now I am going to use the nested if else statement. If x greater than y and x greater than z, then x is bigger. Else if, so in Python programming language we are using if. If y greater than z, then y is bigger. Else, so nested if, else again colon, print z is bigger. So here you see that somewhat complicated selection statement like if, else, if. So using these three values we can able to find out which is bigger value. So let us execute and see which is the bigger value. So you say y is bigger, say yes, y is bigger. Now I make x bigger value. Now you see what happened. So x is bigger. Let me change the z value to bigger, that is 90. Then see z is bigger. So this is one of the selection statement with bit complicated program. So in this slides, let us discuss about the two important iteration statements. Iteration statement or looping statement. The first one is, let us discuss about the while loop. So let me assign the value I equal to 1. So the statement is while condition I greater than, or you say less than 5. So after that you have to give colon. Then I am saying print the value I. So whenever now I assign I1, I less than 5 true. Whenever the condition is true, then the next statements will be executed. Now I am just incrementing the I value I equal to I plus 1. So in this iteration the loop will continue until the condition satisfied. So in this case, what will be the output? The output will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Once it reaches 5, I value 5, the condition fails, it will come out of the loop. So let us see the outputs. See 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is simple while loop. Similarly, let us discuss about for loop. For loop, for example, I am using like this for I in range. This is one method of for loop. The starting value and the final value. So let me say 5. So that means the I value start from 1 up to 5. By default the increment will be by 1. Now I am say print for loop also you must give the colon here. Print I. So this loop will continue until the range 5. So exclusive of 5. So up to 4 only. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Similar to the previous while loop it will print. So this is the initial value I will be assigned to this initial value 1. By default it will increment by 1 each till 5. That means not included 5. That is exclusive of 5. So let us see the outputs. So let me change the value to 10. So up to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up to 9. So this is a simple for and while loop iteration statements. So one of the important concept in Python programming language is collections, that is set of elements. So just show me method of learning. Let us discuss the basic concepts of these 4 collections types. One is list. List all are collection of elements, a set of elements. So let me write the data types of anything. It may be of different data type. So this is a set of elements of list. So if you want to get the output, just simply write that list and you will be able to get the outputs. Now similarly for tuple, you have to use the brackets. For list you have to use square bracket, but here you have to use ordinary brackets. So the same concept, there is no much difference. The only thing is we will see the difference between tuple and list. In the later videos we will be discussing more detail about functions, file handling, the collections, error handling, and object oriented concept later. So in this we just have to basic understanding of Python programming language. So now if you want to print this list tuple of your own variable name. So now you get the same thing. Yes, I will change that value and you get the outputs like this. If you want to access the particular elements of the tuple, then you have to use index value. Suppose I want to access the A, so you have to use 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it always starts with 0 index. So A. Similarly, list also you can use the index value. I want allow. Then you have to use the index value like this. Then you will get the outputs. Now let us discuss about set. The set is also like list and tuple set of elements, but the duplicates are not allowed. So the unique value concept. So unique value only we have to get. For example, when you say print now, print this value set. Again, if I am trying to use that duplicate 1, so it will not print double times. So it will unique value only will take into considerations. So 1, 2 times it will not print. It will take only the unique value of the given set of elements. So only unique values is considered to be a set. So now let us talk about dictionary. Dictionary is a key value pair. So you have to use curly brackets. Let me say 1 is the person. You can say Anand, comma, so ID number or something like that, Babu, like that. So now you have to print the value dictionary. So you have to get the. So here they have to use colon. There is a syntax error. So you have to use this and print 1 on 2. Here also how to access the index value of that particular value, but here you no need to give index value, you have to give that key value. So I want to use Babu, the key value is 2. So now we are going to get the value, key value is 2 and the key is 2 and value is Babu. So you will have to get Babu. So these are some basic concepts of collections.